Hello, and welcome to the RealRam fam. On my channel, I intend to provide you with a safe platform to discuss the intersections of your entire being, to be able to be comfortable in your own skin, in mission or position. There is no one like you, and we all have a purpose and message. I, for one, am a black woman, mother of four, a military veteran, and a wife, and a social worker, just to name a few. From my channel, I hope that you learn more about military families and social workers. Three of the social work values are my aim in each video: importance of human relationships, dignity and worth of the person, and social justice. No matter what you initially think when you hear social worker, there is more to the profession. Trust me. Stay locked in by subscribing to the channel, and be sure that you hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any new uploads. Without further ado, on to today's episode. What's up? What's going on, RealRam fam? Thank you for watching or watching later on. So today is the first episode on my new timeline. So I hope that those of you overseas get to chime in live, participate, as today will be my first day of a giveaway. So hopefully you get to participate and stay tuned for the whole entire thing. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the show All American. This is not my first time talking about this show, but I'm a little bit caught up. I think now they're on season 4, which I don't have access to. So if you're new to my channel, I don't have cable. I have to watch it on Hulu, and they've been slow on releasing it to Hulu. So I just finished season 3. Yeah, I just finished season 3 not too long ago, and there's been quite the changes in excitements, twists and turns. But when you're watching TV, when you're watching it, it's no surprise, right? Because it's TV. You can see some things as a setup. So without further ado, I'm going ahead and I'm gonna get started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna share the screen with you. Hopefully we can get some participation here. So I'm gonna share. So I'm gonna start here. Now I'm not gonna start with Spencer. I'm not gonna start with Spencer at all. So Olivia. Y'all know who Olivia is. What y'all think about what's going on with Olivia here lately? I think Olivia sometimes is troublesome and not really understanding herself, right? She doesn't understand that her somewhat non-confrontational ways are a bit problematic, right? If she wants to be, her and let me go back real quick. Olivia and Layla, they are quite similar. If they want to be kind of helpful people, that's what they're kind of panned out to be. They're panned out to be helpful people, kind of shy and quiet and reserved. But because Olivia doesn't quite know what she wants, that's problematic. So let's just go straight to season 3, right? She is battling addiction. And the problem with people not knowing addiction, they try to separate each one as something different, right? When you're addicted, it doesn't matter what it is. When you're triggered, something's going to happen to make you do some type of addictive behavior. So the fact that now she's drinking alcohol and she's upset, she's showing all the signs, her sponsor didn't respond to her, and there's a new sponsor trying to reach out to her. Addiction is addiction. And she's, trying to push people away from her. I would like for people to understand that when you got somebody supportive in your life, you shouldn't push them away, because the same thing happened on Station 19, where Rob was told that he should kind of keep a distance from his wife for his own sobriety. That necessarily is not true. If the person is good for you, that's who you stay close to. That's who you stay connected. You don't stay away from them. I'll probably have to come back to Olivia. Then we got Jordan, her brother. Jordan, we know Jordan is the quarterback for his school. And he and his teammates, I'm going to see how I can do the split screen. Of course, I don't play football, right? So I don't know what it's like to be the quarterback. I don't know what it's like to date a quarterback or any of that stuff. So him, and I hope y'all can see this. So I'm going to put myself bigger over here and the share over here. There we go. Jordan, try to fix this screen. Hold on. All right. Jordan and JJ. Jordan and JJ, QB1 and QB2. This one is JJ. When Jordan has been so used to being the star all the time, forever, he doesn't know how I'm playing with this screen over here, trying to figure out which is the better view. He doesn't know Jordan doesn't know how to share the spotlight. And I think that's what happens when your parent has been the coach, has been there for you forever, always making you the center of attention. You don't know how to share. So when he loses his spot because he got injured, JJ then gets to be the head quarterback. And Jordan lies, right? This is the problem with student athletes. They're lying to pass these tests so that they can quickly get back on the field, and then they're possibly injuring themselves. But if JJ's his friend, he wouldn't say these hurtful things that he is doing and saying towards JJ. You're supposed to help lift. You're supposed to be there for the team, are you not? Yes, it is about you sometimes, it's about you because you're trying to make it to college. This is your last year, but it's JJ's last year too, is it not? Has JJ not gotten to play as much as Jordan did because he's been QB1 forever? So you got to try to share the spotlight. So it shows a lot of selfishness in Jordan that particular season. And the fact that he got married, he has other things that he needs to be focusing on, which I do not see his wife here. I'm going to have to find her else. Simone. Him and Simone got married. Now, in the previous season, I was all for Jordan, that he's taken a leadership role, a manly role, and being okay with dating a woman who's pregnant by someone else. He loves her, unconditionally. And then he got, a little bit possessive and controlling or whatever. Simone starts feeling bad. And it just showed that he has a bit maturity. Or does it? Does it just show that he's having a little crush and little teenage love and he doesn't know what he's doing? And then once they get married, him being all by her side, it's crazy. It's a bit too much. I don't really remember my teenage years being so serious like this. Their whole crew, their whole friendship is toxic. It is toxic, just like Grownish. Their whole crew and friendship is toxic. And the thing here is you can't even say that it's centered around one person, the toxicity, unlike on Grownish. Zoe she's a mess. But each and every one of them comes with some type of issues of their own. So we're going to move to Asher. I think in season 4, Asher, or season 3, sorry, Asher did quite a lot of growing. His time of being kicked off of the team gave him a lot of time to reflect. And he came a long way. Now, was he still a bit selfish? Yeah, I would say so. But when you come from the place where your father beats you and just wants you to play football and wants you to do things his way, let alone you got this coach who always makes you the center of attention. He all his people were the center of attention, right? But as is this whole show, these types of shows where it seems that there's no one else in the school, no one else exists, right? But Asher being able to pass his drug test, knowing that he cheated, the new coach coming in, making him face reality that there are consequences and you can't be coddled and passed into things, makes him step up and actually become a leader and a part of his team. I think that was very good. I guess it had taken yet again a woman to come in and make people grow up. What do you think about that? Layla, as previously she was kind of raising herself. Then her and her dad, they become a little bit more acquainted. He leaves the road a little bit, and then she finds out this shady stuff that he's doing. She grows up and starts to become a manager, do her own parts of the record business, and she's there for Cool as well as Patience. But while Layla's doing this, she's still right. She's still a kid, right? So she is a little intimidated by some things. There's some things that she doesn't understand. And because she's still tied to her past, she lets that other girl come in, Carrie, because she made a promise to Carrie and she can't see what Carrie is doing. She's blinded by it. But then I'm wondering, is it that whole like savior complex? Is it the whole thing of how sometimes white girls play you? Like they play that victim and then they try to be like, oh, but I'm just so concerned. Like you just don't see what I see. And people take advantage. Like they play that whole thing. And it's interesting that her name is Carrie, so close to Karen. But then Carrie from the old movie, she was a scary character, right? So I was glad that she finally was able to kind of see through, and I just hope that nothing happens to Layla. The way that the season ended, I'm a little worried. How do you leave the house without your phone, but it's in the trash can? Like that I don't get. Like sometimes we do leave without our phones, but that's because we may think it's like tucked away in your purse or it's in your jacket, but you like check for it. You don't be way down the road without your phone. Like you check for it, right? Because teenagers, you're often texting and driving. You're doing something, so you gotta check for your phone at least once or twice. I don't know how she didn't know that her phone was in the trash can. That one is beyond me. Let's go to Spencer's brother, Dylan. Dylan is coming into his teenage years. He's coming up into his own person, trying his mama, starting to like girls. He got some say-so and possession over his mom. What's going on in his life? He lost Spencer for a little bit, right, when he went to go stay with the coach. And then as Darnell is going through his thing, as Spencer tells him, in big brother terms, he's kind of losing another brother because Darnell has to go away. But it's hard being a teen. It's like the men that were in his life are slowly disappearing, right? He grew up without a dad, then his dad came, then his dad left, then Spencer's gone, then Billy is there, then Billy goes back to his family, Then Darnell's there, then Darnell's gone. I hope they show a little bit more of Dylan and not such an extra. That's what I'm gonna say. Dylan is kind of just like there. I would like to see more of him, just a bit more, especially as they're starting to show his talent of drawing. So hopefully he doesn't have to be another one who has to follow in the footsteps of being an athlete. So now let's go to JJ. JJ, he, I don't know if it's really stereotyped or not, but JJ is always the party boy, right? He brings the noise, he brings it all. It doesn't quite say if he's dumb or not, but he starts to show that he is a little self-conscious and has low confidence when he meets a girl who is seeming to be in another class and of a different value. I'm not going to say that girl Vanessa is like all that, but apparently all the other girls in the school that exist that we don't get to see must not be a dum-dum, right? Because we can know what's being implied. She's the coach's daughter, but she seems to be more intelligent, well-traveled, right? Because of all the movement that they've been doing. And he's intimidated by her. And so he tries to be different and not be such a party boy. But then they still got to show him as a little dumb and taking this whole prom king thing so serious with the crown. But he's lacking confidence of being able to lead the team. And yet him and Jordan get into the fight of his ability to lead the team as they should. They should definitely show JJ in a different light a little bit more, because he still stepped up as that QB. And, as they had to show with JJ and all of them, really, they had to tell them to return to playing like you were a kid. Why does that always happen to be a theme? That you have to tell people to return to playing like when you were a kid, when nothing else mattered. Why does sports become so serious? Why does that always happen? Even coaches have to be reminded of this thing. So then there's Chris, he comes along, and him and Spencer obviously used to be friends. And then once Spencer left and went to the other school, they had this little falling out. And isn't that so true to reality? That when someone leaves the hood, they leave the hood to go for better opportunities, then there's a fallout. And you don't even really get to talk about it. There's just, what's going on. But no, I don't, because I need you to say, right? But I'm so glad that they got to talk about it. But it seems like Chris allowed others to get into his head. However, once he was able to talk about it and he let Spencer know that he kind of blamed him for his injury and being out when he didn't feel safe, I think that was a very good, important talk between them. Simone, I don't really have too much to say. It was hard, I'm going to say. Her being a young, pregnant teen and then having to give up her child against her will, right? This isn't what she wanted to do. This is what her parents made her do. And it was hard. And I'm glad that they showed the battle that she was having. Even they started to show a little bit of postpartum that she was experiencing. And that stuff is real. That's some real stuff. And it's good that they had one supportive parent for her, though, that she didn't completely have to go through this alone. And that, it was kind of good that it was her dad. Either parent, it would have been good. But it was good that it was her dad, because when a woman is going through something like that and she has a supportive man, her partner, but you have your dad to tell you that you got a good man in your life and don't push him away. I think that was good, because when you always have your mom telling you about how good a man is, it stays in the back of your head, but I think it's better if you hear it from your dad, or brother or uncle, from another male. Patience steps up really as a support system in that season. Patience has shown to be a good friend, always, throughout all the seasons that I have seen. Although she tries to go for her own dreams, she steps back for Lord, as for Coop. And I kind of didn't like that she kind of let her dream go for Coop. But sometimes that's what we do, right? The supportive female in the life, you kind of dim your light. But she was always there for Coop and the friend. She was there. She's the one who was there to build the entire support system. Because I do think that without patience in the background most of the time, that whole system would have dropped, because they are so toxic. They are some toxic people, and they need an outsider to keep them together and keep them up. And that's what patience is for them. She's always there. And of course, there's always Miss Grace, Spencer's mom, because Coop talks to her, Billy talks to her, and of course Spencer talks to her, right? But mom can only go so far, but she keeps everybody's head on a swivel. She has her wisdom that she comes in with, and even her and Laura put their differences aside for a bit and work things out. They're there for each other. And that was good too, because I think there came a point where Laura thought that Grace wanted her man. She wanted Billy, but Grace wasn't trying to have Billy. She just thought that he could have been Spencer's dad. But if she wanted Billy, she probably could have had Billy. Maybe not. But I'm glad that they worked it out. And I'm glad that Grace, not to have any spoilers, but that she found some happiness for herself. She's a very involved mom. She's very involved, and I love her wisdom. She doesn't get so angry with her children and act out as would probably be portrayed in another show. A single mom trying to raise two boys and an athlete at that who is very involved. They would probably have her really acting out. And I'm glad that they don't. They keep her classy. And Laura, she's doing her thing, trying to make a difference, running for what is she, the DA? And then once things get heavy and tense, she steps up and she does her thing. She puts in on the fight. I'm glad about that. I'm not gonna, although season 3 is over, but there may be some of you who haven't seen it yet. So Darnell, his name is Da Vinci, but Darnell, I'm glad they threw a little bit of military life in there, because it's not every day, it's not every show where people do get to see the trauma, the sadness, the anxiety, and all of that a military child goes through. And he was able to be built. His character was built up throughout the seasons. He comes in and he's just trying to visit the guy that he knew, to be the dad in his life. And he also loses him. It's not just Dylan and Spencer who have this refound connection with their dad. Like, this guy raised them and he's moved on. But the fact that Grace and her wisdom and her love and her heart, all of that says that Darnell can come and live with them so he can be stable. This is also, his his high school years and his his chance to play football, do what he's got to do. And Grace is understanding all of this. And it's very important that Darnell was able to build a circle. He was able to get friends, right? We just gonna say friends, and be normal for a change. And he's able to show this, like show what it's like to be a military child, Army specifically, that's moving around so much. And he was like, in that scene, he said, this was all my fault. I knew I should not have tried to make friends. I got comfortable. And that was real. That was real. Military children, they don't like to get comfortable. They don't want to make friends with you. It's not just spouses, children as well. Because they're like, as soon as I make friends with you, I'm going to have to up and move. And I love that. I love that they did that. And then they showed how really it is when something happens to your parent, how the military folks show up at your door. So I hope everything works out there. We got Preach. Preach has been there from the beginning for Coop. Coop, that's the one guy that she knows that she can trust, although they had their little beefs or whatever. I hope that Preach can see for himself what is going on with this woman. I forgot her name. Something with an M. I forgot her name. But Preach has been the guy. He's been the dude who was keeping the gang away from Spencer, keeping the streets calm. Even while he was locked up, he was there. And so now that he's got this daughter, I hope it don't soften him. He did let old girl weasel her way in, and she tried to take Coop down. Coop was able to figure it out, but I don't know. I just hope that Preach can see through this. And I hope that is even his daughter. Because what they didn't show him taking a DNA test. You cannot just always just go off of the math. The math and the way that someone started acting, that doesn't necessarily mean that's your child. So I hope that is really his child, that he didn't uprooted, and he loves family, because they had to make sure that Coop threw that line in. I hope that's real. Kia, there ain't too much to say about her in the latest season. There ain't much to say about Tyrone, except for the fact that his sister is here to, get revenge. Although she said she wasn't, I was kind of believing her. And so I wanted to say about Miss Coop. She's just trying to hold on to all these grudges, and she always trying to keep it street. She don't want to trust nobody, all this stuff. And we all got a person like that where you just want to say, let people change. People have changed. Stop being like that. And you see that people are doing some good, but we sometimes know that that's just a curtain. That's their representative to make you put your defenses down. And that's what's happening. But did she want to do that against the whole community or just Coop? And it seems like it's just Coop. That she's out to get Coop. But why? Is it really that she believes that Coop got her brother shot? Or is it because Coop is really the eyes of the community? That Coop is the one who's trying to keep everyone on their toes, right? While Preach is the head of the gang that's keeping the peace in the streets, Coop is the one who's keeping the community awake and aware. She's bringing them together as well. Whereas Spencer, he's that athlete. And this is the one thing about these TV shows, is they act like there's only just one special talent in the hood. Now, it is true that the gang members and stuff will try to protect that athlete and keep him or her out of trouble, but there isn't just one star. And I know that that's probably part of Chris's problem. And old boy over here, Noah, he's the hater. This dude is drinking some serious haterade. Yeah, I went back to the old term. This dude, sorry, Noah is his real name. His name on the show is Frosto. Frosto comes in. This dude is hating on everything that Spencer do. Spencer just can't do anything right, and he keeps calling him not Crenshaw, but the other school. But he's hating on him for leaving. He's hating on them because they can't win. He's hating on him because the new principal comes in and making all these changes. It's like Spencer didn't do all that. People try to act like Spencer is everything, but he's not. And so while I'm looking at Spencer, as Spencer thinks that he has the whole school and the whole community and the whole world on his shoulders, he didn't do that alone. People have been building him up because he's the one guy who's going to make it out, but he's not. Just like his dad and Billy both made it out, there's others who can make it out too. Now, Spencer is problematic as well. He's always in somebody's business. Does he have a good heart? Yes, he does. Does he want you to do right? Does he want you to do better? Yes, he does. But the way that he goes about it is problematic. So it's Spencer, Layla, and doggone Olivia. Y'all, and then they're trying to date each other too. So these problematic people who can't stay out of people's business, who don't know how to talk to people, that's going to be explosive. Those relationships just are not going to work. If Spencer feels like he has to do everything himself, he's not going to be able to communicate. So, of course, now we got the problem of the black man. We don't know what it's like to be a black man. We don't know what it's like to be a black man without a father in the home who's trying to be an athlete, who's trying to take care of his mom. We don't know what it's like to be a biracial child whose father is the coach, whose mother now is the DA, who wants to now be woke. We don't know what this, who also has an addiction problem. We don't know what that's like. Along with the black woman whose mother died when she was young, whose father is rarely ever home, and she is trying to take care of her own mental health. So out of all you guys' problems, man, you see so much good in other people, but it's not up to you to fix everybody else's problems. Like, it's not on you. You got to take care of yourself. You got to do things yourself. And you have to, it's hard to be support and be a friend, but just take care of yourself. And this is crazy that these are just teenagers. We're just talking about teenagers here. Spencer does too much. He does too much, way too much. So then when things fall apart between him and Coop, it's crazy. It's real crazy. But I am glad that they threw in a therapist, so he's able to work through some stuff. But him and Coop have been friends their whole lives, and the fact that he almost threw that away because, yes, she's still trying to see the bad in people, but he has been taken out of the hood, and he's thinking that things are better, which is kind of a good thing that Frosto is kind of there to show him that, dude, you are not that much better than everyone else. So Billy, he's gone through his thing, and there's a new principal in who reminds him of some stuff that he did when he was younger. Don't have a photo of him up, but then that principal comes in, and they have to fight. They have to figure things out the manly way by drinking and fighting and all of this. And obviously, Billy was a little bully because Billy was going through some things at home as well that he kind of blacked out, that therapy can help you with. You don't remember some stuff that you did because you was going through. Like these kids. A lot of these kids here is going through some stuff that they probably try to black out. Like Olivia. Olivia's trying to black some of this stuff out through alcohol, drugs, sex. And if you don't know, like this is similar to 13 Reasons Why. They may not have shown anybody getting raped, but I can guarantee you with this behavior that is going on here, all this lying and cheating and drinking and smoking, and all these folks are underage. That is going on, all these wild parties that they're attending, and they're lying about these injuries. There's some stuff that's going on that's the same as 13 Reasons Why. And so I hate when I hear those of us in the Black community say that when you talk about sex, drugs, rape, the LGBT, when you show that puts that in people's heads, because that's not true. It absolutely isn't true. They don't necessarily talk about rape for it. Well, I think they did. That's what happened with Simone, if I recall. That's how Simone got pregnant. She was in a relationship with that guy, but I believe that he raped her, if I recall. Him and another guy actually raped her at a party. So just because all this other drama and there's a bigger theme about football that's going on in the show, it's still not being put in the heads of people that it's okay to do this and that. But what I see in this show is a problem of putting so much emphasis on being an athlete that people are lying about their recovery, the concussions, the gunshot wounds, just to hurry back up and get out there and play football. So when you have an actual coach who comes in and says, your recovery is top priority to me. I do care about you. I do care about you getting your grades up. Hey, you being out there on the field is not what I need for my team or for you. I need for you to step up and be a leader and lead from the sidelines. I need for you to help and read, watch the videotape and help me and help your team see what they're doing wrong. That's what I need from you. I do care about you. And I want you to heal. But they can't see that because they've been conditioned to just hurry up and get back out there on the field. I will lie for you. I will cheat for you. It was this show. It was All American, where they went to go visit the college. I think it was the show. And they went to go visit the college, and the baseball player was there. And then he got taken, the coach got taken down for cheating. So it's so much going on in the world that's a reality that we're not paying attention to. So I hope you all have enjoyed my review of All American. There's so much more that could have been said. But of course, it's better when I have an actual audience to converse with me about it. I had t-shirts to give away. So I'm going to show you the t-shirt that I'm wearing. It just says, lift every voice and sing. I have these to give away. So the first 2 commenters on this, I have a free t-shirt to give away for you. So any comments, questions, suggestions, even suggestions on the next show to do, I'll take them. Drop them in that comments box, So again, first 2 people to comment, I got a free t-shirt for you. Thank you all for my first 9 a.m. Friday live stream. I'm going to keep these going. and we'll see how it all works out. I thank y'all very much. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I would like to thank my guests for joining me, or simply thank you for watching the pre-recorded episode. No matter what your birth order is, how you self-identify, and whether you like pancakes or waffles. If this is the first time you're hearing it today, I want you to know that you are loved. You were put here for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Until next time, take care of yourself. Be sure that you like and share the videos, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. This is RealRam out.